Testing. All right, guys, all YouTubers, let's go. All righty, welcome. Friday, a good Friday as we get closer to March. My gosh, it's almost March. Spring is in the air. Spring training baseball. Baseball. I love baseball. We got a lot to talk about with baseball and football today. We're going to focus on those two sports alone. Let me give you the quick synopsis of this show. Baseball minorities, umpires, making a big impact yesterday as Major League Baseball has now, well, advanced minority, black, Mexican chief, umpire crew chief positions. Historic? Yes. About time? Yes. MLB's first black and Mexican umpire crew chiefs are in place. We'll talk about that here on Hanna Time. I'm your host, Cornelius Brad Hanna. We're also going to talk about a very strange but, well, good topic. Yankees pitcher Gerrit Cole, formerly of the Houston Astro, is fighting back against accusations of cheating from a former college teammate, Trevor Bauer. New England Patriots, Tom Brady, future will be known soon about if they're going to keep their marriage together or they're going to separate and move on. And what happens next, the future of both. Plus NFL, players, news, a lot to get to, a jam-packed conversational show, and more little things in there I'm going to squeeze in. But let's get to it. I want to say hi to people right away. We got Martine, we got Todd, we got Roger, we got Denise Rebel in the house. Love you. Let me move on. YouTubers, we got Steven. Is that Jenko? Hey, Jenko, how are we doing? Let me move it along. All right, here we go. Baseball. Baseball appoints first black umpire crew chief. Very historic itself. Baseball also appoints the first Mexican-born umpire crew chief. Mexican-born Alonso Marquez has 3 World Series under his belt, joins the late Jim McKean, who came from Canada, as the only crew chiefs to have been born outside of the United States to become a umpire crew chief. All right, the league announced this yesterday. Also, first native Dominican Republic, Ramon de Jesus became a full-time Major League umpire, which is also very good for the enhancement and the growth of umpiring in a minority way, which is something has been coming for a very long time. So let's get back to more about the very first black chief umpire now given to who? Who's the guy? Can you know who the guy? Do you know who the guy is? A lot of people don't know. And a lot of people won't know. But I will say this. Major League Baseball, I wanted to call something up on it. I got so much to talk about this today, too. You know, Major League Baseball really has been behind times when it comes to crew chiefs for umpires and things like that. It's been a long time. And it's very, I would say, refreshing and feel-good story. But both these umpires have earned their right to be a crew chief umpire. Okay? As I'm calling this up, I really wanted to get it before I moved on to my next. Oh my goodness, yeah. All right, so Kevin Danley is now the the next, or Kerwin Danley, I should say Kevin. What did I say Kevin for? So Danley is now the crew chief. Okay, Alonso Marquez is the crew chief. He's Mexican. Okay, he's the second one outside of the United States. Okay, so Danley is now the first black crew chief umpire. But let's go in the history books. This is what I wanted to call up, the history books, okay? Currently, there are 6 African-American umpires in Major League Baseball. Kerwin Danley, who joined the staff back in 1998, now crew chief, has worked 8 postseason series, including 2008 World Series. Okay, but there's 6 of them. That's still a pretty good number. Still pretty good number. But we got to go all the way back in the history of umpire in Major League Baseball. Let's give it to the first one, Emmett Ashford. From 1914, he lived to 1980, but he was the first black Major League Baseball umpire. Chuck Merriweather came in and basically passed away in 2019. But I remember Chuck was part of Major League Baseball. Probably could have, should have been a chief umpire too. Art Williams, who passed away in 79, and Eric Gregg, the big guy. Eric Gregg is somebody that I always thought would have been and should have been a crew chief umpire. So just giving a little bit more history lesson on this about Emmett Ashford, who became the first African-American Major League Baseball umpire back in 1966. Ashford was excellent at his craft, known for his spirited umpiring, resonated voice, and professionalism. Kind of gave the umpire a character, more than just balls and strikes and calling you out or safe. He brought a little entertainment value to it. Very colorful. Emmett Ashford, the very first black umpire, African-American umpire in Major League Baseball. Never became a crew chief, though. Marquez, the first Mexican-born umpire to make it to the Major League level. He's been in the Major League since 1999. Richie Garcia is the only other Hispanic crew chief in Major League Baseball that is Hispanic. But Marquez is Mexican. This is big for baseball. And the timing of their season, and right when football is picking up its energy with the combines, baseball continues to slam back into the news with some good positive news. So who is the youngest umpire in baseball? Lance Barrett. He's 29 years old. Has been a minor league umpire since 2009. He's now the youngest full-time Major League Baseball umpire since 2014. Just so you know. Some comments I got yesterday. I really loved it. If you look in the lower levels of college, in high school, and many of those professional level leagues that are below the Major League level, there are tons of minority black, Hispanic umpires, okay? But don't get promoted or weren't getting promoted and still are getting through. I think the lack of promotions are a part because of low participation percentage of why blacks are in. That's from Joe Wyndham. He is a big sports fan, making a strong comment. I appreciate that, Joe. I really do. Here's my other take about baseball. Baseball has been struggling with the minority, the black community ball player. Not the Hispanic, but the black community ball player. Getting him through. There's a low percentage. At one point, it was doing okay from the 70s into the 80s. But it's tampered off a little bit. A lot, I would say. And baseball, and I have a close connection to this. My father was working very close to Bowie Kuhn. My father's radio name was Dick London. And Bowie Kuhn, the commissioner, the late commissioner, back in the 70s, asked my father, who had a strong connection as a journalist, a communicator in the New York City metropolitan area. And baseball was having an issue with minorities and the fan base of the minority fan base in the New York City and then cross of baseball. But they wanted to start in the New York City area and get it going. My father had met with Bowie Kuhn and they had a plan in place. And from that point on, baseball outreached into its communities through the direction of Bowie Kuhn and the execution of my father to bring more of an outreach program through the broadcasting, through the media, and getting ball players out in the community itself through the media aspect and promoting it and highlighting it to make it more aware. Baseball, since that, has dropped the ball because baseball has lost, the black community athlete, baseball player, likes the game, but their choices are basketball, football, it seems like at the highest level. Baseball, there are a lot of baseball players that are black, but in the major leagues, I'm surprised the number is down. It's lower. We're not talking about the black Dominican Republic athlete, the South American black athlete. Okay. I know we call him Hispanic, but they're still, it is what it is. Okay. But the American black athlete playing baseball is down, is way down. And from the 70s through my father's execution with Bowie Kuhn, that was on a rise. It was doing very well in baseball. Baseball had a lot of black American baseball players. You know, from when the first Jackie Robinson stepped onto the field and trying to continue that momentum through the 60s into the 70s, baseball got it going in the right direction. But in the last few decades, it has not. It's lost it. And this is a good indicator by promoting your very first crew chief umpire, who is black, your first Mexican crew chief umpire, who is black. And then advancing up through the ranks, another Hispanic umpire, okay, from the Dominican Republic, Ramon de Jesus, who was announced yesterday as a major league umpire. That makes a lot of sense, okay? This is a nice start of something in the beginning of baseball opening up its doors again to the outreach, not just domestically, but globally, that everybody is welcome into our game. But you have to do it in high positions. Baseball does a good job of hiring. We've had black managers, and we still, okay? But the problem that I want to get back to is if a ball player at a young age, a teenager, an eight-year-old is not playing the game, and if he's a black athlete, then that game doesn't grow through him to become a major league ball player. And then the interest of jobs are lower. So I see that there is a diminished amount of black baseball players because of the interest at a young age. And that's the fault of Major League Baseball not getting out into the community. They lost touch with their community in the inner cities, and it was always about the inner city. Baseball always was about the inner city, but something got outside the inner city, and they lost focus on the inner city ball player, the baseball player. And I believe baseball dropped the ball over the last few decades. There is a small spike in black American baseball players coming through the ranks, but not at the high level that you may see that they want to be basketball players or football players, okay? But to hire them in executive positions and high-ranking positions, you know, you have to have an interest of the game to go through the ranks. And baseball did not give or promote the game well enough over the last few decades to a minority group. Now, Mexicans love baseball. Mexicans are playing baseball in their own country. They're playing baseball in the United States. They love baseball. Anything south of the border here in the United States they love baseball. They really do. And there's a high level Hispanic ball players in baseball. Very high level. But why is it not the black American baseball athlete? The numbers are not that high. American, keyword, okay? Comments coming in about this. It's a topic that a lot of people don't want to touch because you may say something incorrectly or, you know, you're not saying something enough. You just never know what people are going to think. Good morning, AJ. We got Jacqueline in the morning. Good morning. We got Fi in the house, or Fee. How you doing? Martin says, hello. Yeah, baseball is here, definitely. Dina, Todd says, you look like a young Bob Seger. Detroit, baby. No, I'm not from Detroit, but that's where he's from. I want to just turn the page, right? Angel Hernandez is the worst umpire. Who is that? Jason, did you read that article? Jason, you still there? Stay with me, man. Jason, I know you love baseball. Great. I was going to touch this topic, Jason, about Angel Hernandez. And Angel Hernandez has attacked baseball, went after Joe Torre, and claiming that, but he did have a point because of what I just said, that baseball was not um, um, getting deeper into promoting minorities through the umpire rankings. That part is very possible, but there's a lot of truth to the fact that I don't see enough of them coming through the ranks. Okay, I know they're down in the minor league system, but you do have to earn it. And to say that baseball is being racist about holding down opportunities, I can't buy into that. And I don't believe Joe Torre, who is a very mainstream, moderate, very balanced, um, not even close to having any racial thing in his blood, from what we know and learned. I know where he's from. The Bay Ridge, Brooklyn area. Joe Torre's sporting goods store that I bought my first glove, and my dad bought my first baseball glove. Right? I know the Torre family. I know the Torre story. But he went after Joe Torre, Angel Hernandez. And a lot of people feel that there is a vindication involved in the story of suing baseball and defaming a guy like Joe Torre, that Angel Hernandez is being blackballed. But he does go out and make sure that he gets protected by the courts so he can go sue baseball to push this agenda so he does not get blackballed. Now, I understand that. I think he may have done the right path because he loves his job. But at the same time, you are hired and you were given this opportunity. You earned this opportunity to be an umpire. Now, are you a good umpire? There's a lot of doubt in that. There's a lot of people in baseball who don't feel Angel is a good umpire. And that Angel may have just been, Angel Hernandez, given the opportunity because of what? Status quo. And that was the fear, is to hire people for status quo, but the game itself gets affected because you're going for status quo for productivity. And that's always been a fine line in our society. We want to do the right things. We want to balance society. We want to balance job opportunities for all people. But you also want to hire the best or the great ones or the ones that are the best of the best. Angel Hernandez, there's a lot of skepticism about you off the field now, but on the field. On the field in baseball, the way you umpire a game. There's a lot of negativity about how you umpire a game and the fact that you may hold grudges against managers, coaches, and players. I know this too. Jason, if you're there, please elaborate more. Jason says he uses his status as a minority to keep his job. Okay, so you're all right. Good. I'm glad you said that. I just saw that and read it. So Jason Himmelstein is a baseball diehard. He's not only just a former player, but he's also a coach. Loves the game of baseball, all aspects of it. He works with youth. He works with minor leaguers, and he's worked all over the map. Baseball is his life. So he understands the game. He knows people in the game. So when he speaks about the game, he's not going to BS about it. He's not going to BS about it. I really appreciate Jason popping in. Thank you. Keep coming, Jason, with your comments. I should have had you on the show live. Tom Williams, Cesar, Don, appreciate it coming in. Juan, thank you, Juan. Juan Otoro in the house. Hey, happy Friday to you. Good Friday. Yes, what's up, my man? Danny Rogers. Todd says, did you know that retired umpire Gary Cedarstorm lives in North Dakota? After a baseball umpire career, okay, you probably, my hair is getting messy again. You probably wouldn't mind retiring in North Dakota. Get away from the stress and all that, right? So, all right, I understand. My gosh. All righty. Alonzo, Ernest, Joel, John, Michelle in the house. Lots of love to you too in the UK. All right, let's move it on. Let's move it on. So again, baseball has hired its first Black American crew chief member to 76 member staff of umpires in baseball. Okay, there's only 6 African American umpires in Major League Baseball. Not it's good. It's just how many are there in their lower ranks that are able to come through. So the opportunities are there. Maybe this is the beginning of even more. But the fact that we haven't had one before is the big question mark. That why hasn't baseball given this opportunity to an African American umpire when there's been other really good ones that I mentioned? Kerwin Danley becomes that guy. First African American chief umpire. Let's also give Alonzo Marquez, who has been all over the place. He's been highly ranked as an umpire. He is also the first Mexican born crew chief member of his staff in the 2020 season. Congratulations to baseball and to the men that I just mentioned for getting up there in the rankings. We got to move on. Let's go to the next topic, okay? Baseball, Detroit Tigers. You must be 18 to 23 years old to try out for the Detroit Tigers. The Detroit Tigers are having an open tryout in Lakeland, Florida. So if you're a ball player right now somewhere in the United States or anywhere in this world, and you're looking to impress with your skill sets, you better have a strong arm. You better run. Those two things will wake up anybody because they can work with you if you have speed and arm strength. Then they'll go into the other aspects of the game in your tryout. But arm strength and speed are the two important skills when you're trying out for a baseball team. Major League Baseball Detroit Tigers will be having an open tryout camp in Lakeland on March 9th. Mark it down. Pack your bags. Get in your car. Get on the Greyhound bus and get out to Lakeland, Florida, where the Strawberry Festival has begun in that area of Florida between Orlando and Tampa. There is a beautiful stretch run on I-4, Strawberry Fields Forever. It's a beautiful strawberry festival, but Lakeland is sitting right in there. Get out there, enjoy, go make a team. Tryouts, Detroit Tigers. I think that's great. I did that once with the Cincinnati Reds. I tried to walk on. I walked out there. Hey, the competition is real. You know, you think you're great or you think you got a chance, and you get out there and then you see some amazing talent also, and you're like, dang it. It's like, and intimidating wise, you got to block it out, but you can tell that guy is super fast, right? So they are looking for speed and arm strength. If you're trying out or you're going to be scouted in Major League Baseball, but the Detroit Tigers, March 9th, open tryouts for baseball. All right. Here's a topic I want you to listen to, okay? It's a very important one to say, okay? Gerrit Cole of the New York Yankees. Gerrit Cole of the New York Yankees, okay? Gerrit Cole of the New York Yankees has been accused of tampering with the baseball. Gerrit Cole was accused by Trevor Bauer, who has been all over the place with the Astros cheating and now is attacking his former college teammate from UCLA, Gerrit Cole. Gerrit Cole pitched for the Pittsburgh Pirates. He did well. Had a good velocity. Did have some injuries, though, along the way that slowed him down. Then he gets traded to the Astros, and his game improves drastically. This is Gerrit Cole. Trevor Bauer. His velocity rises. His spin on the baseball when he spins it has increased. The spin is increased a lot more than he did in Pittsburgh. Now he gets accused of doing something with the baseball. Gerrit Cole speaks out. He is not happy. but he believes and he knows he's done right, and he knows why his game has improved so much. This is Gerrit Cole from an article from the New York Post being asked to explain and have his own comments about this after being accused. Gerrit Cole detailed a variety of reasons why his personal spin velocity improved on his fastball, slider, and curve in both years at Houston after leaving Pittsburgh. He smoothed out his delivery, he says. I am stronger. I'm in my prime. He went from the Pirates, harped on throwing sinkers, to the Astros, who had him throw more four-seam fastballs to the top of the strike zone. Now, if you followed me in baseball all season long, if you followed me throughout the playoffs in baseball, I completely was strongly suggesting to all pitchers, and if you have a young kid in baseball right now who's trying to be, get up to the top ranks, if you're a college pitcher, even if you're in the major league pitchers, Gerrit Cole was doing something that I was saying is great for a pitcher. Throw high in the strike zone. The reason why I said throw high in the strike zone is because they have been teaching these young hitters, they're all in baseball now, is to have the launch angle, which means you're coming up, you're swinging up, which means everything above that swing cannot be hit, cannot get good wood on the ball. It used to be swinging down from the top of the strike zone down through the strike zone, covering all aspects of the strike zone. Now that there is a launching for more home runs, let's get the home run. Yes, you may strike out 2 times, but you got a home run, or you drove the ball to the wall. Baseball dynamics, the metrics of this, in one way, may screwed this all up. But the pitchers, like Gerrit Cole, have decided to go striking high, throw strikes high in the strike zone. The upper part, which is right around the chest, right around here, okay? Because they can't hit it. They can't hit it. They may foul it off, but then they do something else. They throw a pitch even higher. They throw a strike, then they throw a ball up in the high strike zone, out of the strike zone, and you swing at it. So your eye levels are trying to follow it, and you see that same pitch again, but it's a little higher. And with pinpoint control, you can be just as close to the chest area for a strike, but it's a ball, and you're swinging at it and just sitting down. Gerrit Cole has mastered the high strike pitch with this four-seam fastball. He throws hard. Okay? He praises Brent Strom, the Astros analytic department and pitching coach. Gerrit Cole further says Strom made the point that most Hall of Fame pitchers emphasize that a four-seam up in the zone pitch is devastating. But Bauer gave voice to an undercurrent in the game that the Astros spin was not being produced naturally, accusing Gerrit Cole and other Astro pitchers. Better grip keeps the ball on the fingers longer, allowing for a better snap. Better snap off the ball for a backspin if the pitcher knows what he's doing. So is there something that he's accusing Astro pitchers and Gerrit Cole that there is something on their fingers, there is something that they're tampering with so they can get a better grip to get a better spin? More friction on the ball with your fingers in the ball, you get a better spin, not just the laces. So he's accusing that they're getting more of a spin on it that is not natural, he says. Now let's get further into it. Gerrit Cole, Yankees pitcher now, their ace, he says this: I don't know who's creating sticky stuff or who's creating those rumors. I feel like there are a lot of different ways to increase spin rate, the velocity, the rotation of how many rotations on that spin that you get when you throw a ball. Creates movement, down, away, up, and in, everything. That's how pitchers succeed, right? I have done it for 2 consecutive years, he says, chasing some of the principles I've learned over there and how you spin the ball. It is as simple as you want both your fingers to come off the four seam about the same time, because then there is no leak in the kinetic energy from your hand to the ball. So what he's saying is, it is a you get four fingers on the ball, but the two fingers that are the most important ones have to stay on the ball and come off the ball evenly. So there's no gaps, right? No air pocket. So there is a consistency of a grip. I know this is technically not everybody's conversation, but to understand how pitching is so scrutinized and how pitching is so vital and really very interesting scientifically, athletically, and why pitching is something that doesn't get talked about enough. We think it's boring, but what is going on is something that this topic makes it more interesting, understand the science of it. So he's saying the kinetic energy of his two fingers need to come off the ball evenly. So there's no leak of air, no spacing. He says this also, Gerrit Cole. If I'm not in the right arm slot, okay, the arm slot, I can really get after spinning it, because if I know I have the right axis, meaning the rotation, the arm position, whatever degree of the arm, the slot where he's throwing it, if it's here, if it's there, right? I've learned the right axis basically because of my good repetition. So he's practicing, he's getting good consistency, and he's mastering it. That's what you do. Anything is you strive to master what it is you love to do. He's mastering it. So I get after it, he says. I feel like I can spin it harder with that. So Trevor Bauer accusing the Astros not only cheating with buzzers and banging garbage cans and cameras in the outfield and blinking lights and cheating the game of baseball, he's also saying that baseball pitchers in Houston are also cheating with their grip, getting an unnatural produced grip, means substance. There's something they're using, and accusing Gerrit Cole of doing that. Why is Gerrit Cole velocity even higher? The spin rate's higher. His movement on the ball is incredible. He's dynamite. He's dangerously good or great. But Gerrit Cole said he's been practicing what he's been told to do, to throw the four-seam fastball, which was not his game of pitching. But at Houston, it was. He gets more velocity, more spin, more movement on the ball. And he makes sure, again, for a young pitcher or anybody teaching the game of pitching to a young kid or a college athlete, a high school kid, is the kinetic energy of releasing the ball from your fingers. As he puts it, there is no leak. There's got to be a consistency. Making sure there's no leak. So everything that a pitcher does in his windup, rotation of the arm slot is mechanically in place. And through repetition and practice, it becomes normal. But they feel the ball. They understand their grip on the ball. And as it comes out of their hands, they know and trust it. But they feel it because they want to snap it. They want to get it off their fingers strong. They want to have no leak between the ball and their fingers. So I have to give Gerrit Cole some, not just credit for getting to where he is, mastering his craft of pitching and throwing the ball, but also the fact that the accusation is strong, but false, and no proof. And I believe what he's saying, Gerrit Cole, is very valuable and valid. All right, more comments coming in about this baseball topic. Hello, Allison. Anna in the house. Felix in the house. Dan in the house. Michael Butler in the house. And Antonio Payano in the house. Everybody say hi to Allison for me. All righty. Felix, morning, my brother. Appreciate it. Hey, love you, Felix. Love you. All right. Let's transition to football. The NFL. The NFL. Tom Brady and Belichick. Is this the end? What's the future of the Patriots? What's the future of Brady? If they go their separate ways, who wins the Super Bowl first? Or who is more likely to win a Super Bowl if they go their separate ways? Brady goes to another team and Belichick is coaching the Patriots. Tell me what you think. Who's got a better chance? Two reporters with ties to the Patriots team are all over this story right now, reporting things are not looking good for the possible return of Tom Brady to the New England Patriots. Crazy as it may sound, but it's getting closer to the free agency. The bell rings at 4 p.m. Eastern time on March 18th. 2 p.m. Arizona time, 1 p.m. Pacific time. Football, NFL free agency. Tom Brady looks closer and closer to getting a chance to test the market and choose where he wants to go, unless the Patriots can offer him what he wants and also what he wants on the roster. And this is the key to keeping Tom Brady. Tom Brady probably realizes that the current roster on the Patriots is not good. Not satisfied with the offensive line, but not satisfied with his receiving corps for a number of years. New England's hoping to start negotiations with their longtime quarterback, Tom Brady, as soon as possible. But free agency is just March 18th away, 4 p.m. Eastern time, and things will change. Because now teams get the chance to offer contracts and give Tom Brady a chance to go somewhere that maybe he feels it's time and a challenge outside of New England to see if he can do it on his own without Belichick. Now, there is another story out there. Now, there's two stories out there that the Patriots are trying to find offensive help immediately. But here's a catch-22. You can't talk to free agents until they're a free agent. March 18th. Their eyes are on Hooper, the tight end out of Atlanta. He's a good one. That would help the worst tight end position in football, the New England Patriots from last season. Yes, it was the worst since Gronkowski left the Patriots. Now, speaking of the tight end, if they can grab Hooper or a really good one and still negotiate with Brady, and Brady gives the Patriots the opportunity to develop and get some players, and Tom can say, all right, I like Hooper. I like that tight end that you just got. And I like the fact that you got a really good wide receiver. There is now more rumors about the Browns looking to trade Odell Beckham Jr. because they want to move on with him. Patriots could be a good fit for many of those reasons of historically speaking with players in OBJ. But OBJ would be a great fit for his speed, his hands, for Tom Brady. Be fantastic for Tom Brady. Think about that. But if the Patriots do not land their wide receiver and do not get their tight end, Tom Brady doesn't have weapons that he's looking for. These are just what people are fabricating, believing, generating through history and what they know on the inside and just seeing on the outside, that Tom Brady wants more weapons before he says goodbye to the game of football. And especially at his age, he needs more offensive help. His game has declined from a year or two ago. It really has. All right? So, Greg Bedard, Boston's Journal, recently spoke about the real possibility of Beckham, OBJ, going to the Patriots. Okay? That is a huge plus for the Patriots in a trade, which means they have to give up a first-round pick or somebody pretty good or a high draft pick to get OBJ. And then maybe Brady be like, let me think about my Patriots again. At the point, though, we don't know if Cleveland is ready or willing to exchange for Beckham and at what cost, right? And at what return. The Patriots hold the 23rd pick overall. Beckham is owed $14 million per year in his contract. That's a lot of money that Belichick does not believe in. But does he stretch it out to win over? But why would he want to win over Brady with no guarantee that, well, for one, Beckham may not be there. And if Beckham does show up through a trade, doesn't guarantee Tom Brady shows up for New England next season. And then you're stuck with Beckham's contract. And where are you at that point? Is New England going to be satisfied with another quarterback, the same system, that a system quarterback that Tom Brady, that a lot of people feel is a system quarterback until he can prove everybody differently? That a Beckham and another quarterback in New England under Belichick could go very well. But there's another problem. Okay, New England already has dozens of free agents this offseason. We'll take a look at a lot of money to bring back the best to their team. So they got a lot of free agents on their roster or that are going to leave to free agency that they got to hold and keep. Or this is going to be a complete reconstruction of the Patriots roster. Okay? Overall. Now, Boston, they know, the fans, what's going on. New England and Belichick also knows this. Is he willing to give up a 23 pick overall for a Beckham $14 million per year contract? Belichick doesn't work that way. Is he willing to change to keep Brady? There's no guarantee. March 18th, it all changes. All right, yesterday was pretty cool. Former Arizona State punter Turk impressed everybody as a punter with his combine of weightlifting. Strong. That was impressive. He actually blew away everybody about how strong this guy is with his weightlifting yesterday. His ranking just skyrocketed to be drafted this football season. So the former Arizona State punter just may have got himself an NFL job, or at least he's on his way with a good start at the combine. Another quarterback at the draft combine, Jalen Hurts, who continues to kind of simmer in the background when it comes to quarterbacks. But a quarterback that has had a lot of college experience other than Kyler Murray went number 1 overall with 1 year of college starting experience. Think about that. Jalen Hurts has been in national championship games, Final Four, moved on to Oklahoma, and still prospered and generated great numbers as a quarterback at Oklahoma when he transferred away from Alabama. So Jalen Hurts goes out there yesterday in the combine and runs one of the top 10 fastest 40-yard dashes by a quarterback in NFL combine history. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are looking for that RPO quarterback, if you are looking for a quarterback that is a good pocket passer, knows how to get out, the replica of a Russell Wilson that has more college experience than Russell Wilson, more success than Russell Wilson, more success than a Kyler Murray, who is fast. Okay? Man, why wouldn't you not draft him? Jalen Hurts should be a number 1 draft pick, but I got a feeling he's going to slip. I got a feeling he's going to slip off and go somewhere late, maybe first round, if not somewhere in the second round. And a team that needs a quarterback or a backup quarterback or a team that can take a chance on Jalen Hurts, or a team that wants a quarterback but has other needs, can grab him Like, hey, New England. New England sitting there may want to grab a Jalen Hurts. May want to grab him. There's a lot of teams that may want to grab him. It's amazing that the Arizona Cardinals a year ago got after Kyler Murray. But this season, it's more impressive of the quarterbacks in the NFL draft that I see. Now, I like last year's quarterback draft. The rookies did very well. All of them, I thought, did very well. Haskins is the only one in Washington that just needs more time or looked a little lost, right? But we'll know more about Haskins. But all the other ones that went early or later on, I thought they did a very good job as rookie quarterbacks in the NFL. It was a great year last season for rookie quarterbacks in the NFL. But if you're looking for another draft, I like the ones this year too. And I think there's bigger upside. Big upside. Jalen Hurts is a huge quarterback in the NFL with the right system. The right system. Look for a team like Baltimore that may try to move up and gobble him up in the second round if he's there, just in case Lamar Jackson doesn't go well. Look for Seattle for a backup for Jalen Hurts. With the Cardinals, look at Jalen Hurts if he's there in the second round. And ignore all the other needs that they need. Right? All the positions that they need help in. Other teams that want to bring a new dynamic to their offense, having a starting quarterback, go for it. Go get a RPO dual threat quarterback that is supposed to be the new next generation, not knowing if it really is just a fad or a trend that just lasts 4 or 5 years like we've seen in the past and disappears. But you say, you know what? I want to make sure I am ready for the future, and I'm still going to go get a Jalen Hurts. The guy runs fast. I don't want him running, but I know he has quick feet. He'll be good in the pocket. He can get out of the pocket, and he's shown he can get the ball downfield because he's done very well over his 4 years in college. I'm hitting this hard because over the last few football seasons, teams have drafted quarterbacks, and now you're like wondering, my goodness, is this the better dual threat quarterback out there? And now somebody's going to nail this guy later in the first round or in the second round. And probably should be higher. Jalen Hurts may even move up higher if he continues to show in the combines that he is real and he is really good and he fits the NFL really well. I believe he does fit the NFL really well. I don't believe he is a running quarterback, but the fact that he gets out and he can get out and run when he needs to is that threat that everybody loves. But in the pocket, he has been a really good quarterback in the pocket who has matured for 4 years of college football, which goes a very long way in maturity of understanding. And the fact that he was able to adjust from Alabama and go to Oklahoma and learn a whole new system and prosper in that system tells me he is capable to go to and the fact that it is Oklahoma, Baker Mayfield, Kyler Murray, now Jalen Hurts, 3 years in a row, why not? And maybe he is the best out of those three, Murray, Baker Mayfield, and Jalen Hurts out of Oklahoma. It may just be Jalen Hurts, the best one to come out of Oklahoma. It's very ironic how this all plays out. And sometimes you just panic or rush too quick to get something. Take care of your needs first. Take care of the inner and the core and get physically tough. The one thing that Bill Cowher was great with his Steeler teams was be tough, be physical, right? And be focused. He always preached those things. But the things I always heard was physical, tough. That's what his team was built around. That's why his team succeeded. That's why Bill Cowher is a Hall of Fame coach, because he built his team within. Physical. You need to be a physical, tough football team. And if your team is not tough, if it's not physical, it's only going to last. It's only going to be a splash if you're not physical and tough. So I recommend a lot of teams in the NFL, as you're watching the combines, go get physical. It'll be detrimental to the soft game of the NFL because of this. These athletes who are physical, big, offense, defensive linemen, linebackers, tight ends, that are not only big and physical and nasty, they're fast, they're agile, they're very athletic. So you're getting a combination of all of that. I highly recommend for the future, if you're trying to build within. Look at the San Francisco 49ers. That's exactly what they did. They went after interior. And my goodness, they got a Christmas gift, a New Year's gift, a birthday gift, and a Valentine's gift from the Arizona Cardinals when they drafted Kyler Murray, handing them exactly what they needed in San Francisco. And that's going to haunt the Cardinals for a very long time, because that's the guy, Bosa, who's going to go after and beat down the NFC West for a very long time. It's amazing how decisions are played out in the NFL. Amazing. And Jalen Hurts, man, you looked so good yesterday. You know what? I hope somebody takes a chance on you early, but if not, wherever you go, I truly believe Jalen Hurts is the real deal for the NFL. He has the package. All righty. More news in the NFL. Austin Hooper is being sought out by a lot of teams prior to the free agency, okay? He's a really good tight end. The Chicago Bears want him. New England wants him. The Packers want him. I think a lot of teams want him. But Hooper's going to ask for a high price tag. But the position in the NFL at tight end has become a vital point of your offense. It's pivotal. The tight end does so much for you. Blocking, the short passing game, over the middle, down the seams, long, the outside into the flats, does so much to break down a defense. And if you don't have the right matchups on the tight end in this game right now, you're in trouble. That's why I say go after physical, fast linebackers and linemen. The tight end, the running back. It's not the wide receivers, folks. It's not. You can be a thin, skinny, fast wide receiver or in a cornerback in a secondary that can cover. It's within that 10 to 20-yard range of line of scrimmage where you got to find fast, physical guys, because the game is being won and lost right there. Austin Hooper is being sought out. Packers want him. Everybody wants him. Okay? Now, Steve Keim has spoken out about playing in Mexico and the home game. It will be a home game. And who is the opponent? Here is something that will bother some fans in Arizona. You know, you're going on the road to Mexico. It's a home game, which means now you only have 7 home games in Arizona. The opponents, the candidates are Seattle, which I hope it better not be, because that's a home field advantage against a rival team. It better not be 49ers, because you need home field advantage against the Niners. It better not be the Rams. You need home field against, again, all opponents in your division. The Buffalo Bills makes sense. Out of division, out of conference, makes sense. Washington Redskins and the Philadelphia Eagles Hmm. Possibility. But it is conference play. But stay away from the NFC West. I hope it's the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo is a team on the rise. It's good. It's good. I mean, it's a long way. It's a very long way for Buffalo, Washington, and the Eagles to travel to Mexico, I guess. If you're comparing it to Arizona. Teams like the Rams, not that far away. But be fair. And be fair to the fans is what I'm saying. Okay? So another opponent for Arizona in 2020 are the Lions, and have reportedly eliminated the Dolphins, while the Dolphins are scheduled to host a game in London in this season. So the Dolphins would not be making a trip to Mexico to play the Cardinals and also make a trip to London. The Cardinals previously hosted the first regular season NFL game played outside the United States in 2005. More recently, it squared off against the Rams. That never should have happened. Should have been a home game. Wembley Stadium in 2017. The full NFL schedule will officially be announced sometime in mid-April. We're still a couple of months away from finding out the schedule of the NFL. All right, moving on. Phillip Rivers, the Indianapolis Colts. I think the Buccaneers are also in play to grab this guy. Those are the 2-1. Jordan Reed, tight end, formerly of the Washington Redskins. The Los Angeles Rams are looking at Jordan Reed to join their staff, looking for a tight end. Remind you, tight ends are valuable in the NFL. Extremely valuable in the NFL. Okay? Now, more about the NFL. CeeDee Lamb from the combines yesterday ran a 4.5 in both his tries. Very good. Going to get a lot of looks. Okay? And whoever wants to get a speedy, good, dazzling wide receiver from the Big 12. Okay? Also, 21-year-old Lamb ran a 4.47. No, 4.4. Lamb was a 4.5. Yeah, 4.5. Judy ran a 4.7, 4.47, and a 4.5. So we got two really good wide receivers with speed coming out of college. But there are a lot of other really good wide receivers in the draft. A lot of good, like Baylor's wide receiver Denzel Mims. He was clocked at 4.38. Now that's moving. That's flying. His vertical was 38.5. Right? I mean, his reps were 16. This guy is a motivated blocker. So this guy is not small. He's 6'3", 207 pounds. Okay? And he runs a 4.38. Don't ignore this guy. There are a lot of good wide receivers that you can get day 2 of the NFL draft. Don't be so infatuated on the hyped up wide receiver that you're hearing about. There are so many others that are really good, that are performing, that are their combines are doing better or just as good as the ones that you're hearing mostly about. Okay? Pay attention, folks. There's some really good ones in LSU. I think it was Jefferson. There's a lot of good wide receivers coming out of the draft, or coming to the draft, that you can gobble up and pick up second, third, fourth, fifth round and succeed with them. Succeed with them. All right, more about the NFL, and then we're going to skedoodle out of here, okay? Mitchell Trubisky gets a vote of confidence that the Bears are sticking with him. Well, let's see what happens in the draft. Ex-Bengal, ex-Dolphin running back Mark Walton was arrested Thursday morning following a verbal dispute with the mother of his child. Very sad. We hate seeing that. But I believe it'll be resolved. NFL will likely look into it. Jadeveon Clowney Forgot about him, free agent. He's going to ask for big dollars. There are some teams right now and have freed up a lot of money to go get guys like Clowney. A report coming out of New York that the Giants and the Colts are among the teams that could and highly potentially interested in Clowney. After spending last year in Seattle and seeing what he was doing, opening up new opportunities, okay? Doesn't sound like there's much concrete evidence here, though, but the talks have gone anywhere between Clowney and anybody else. You can't really do that until after the bell has rung for free agency, okay? But Clowney in his prime and teams that have a lot of money can go out there and get a stud right away. Right away. The Kansas City Chiefs, Super Bowl champions, have reportedly will use the franchise tag on defensive lineman Chris Jones. All right. Lock that down and really look at that one. More news coming out of the NFL itself. Let me pop that on really quick here. Just want to make sure that we did not miss anything else in today's NFL. Headline news. I'm going to bring you back MLB news right away, and then we're going to close it out and say goodbye to you, okay? So the Cardinals will host a 2020 home game in Mexico. The challenge is, who's it going to be? Okay? Have they targeted a team yet? There's a story coming out again right now. I gave you the potential teams at the Azteca Stadium in Mexico, where the Cardinals are going to host a home game. Okay, Michael Bidwell. So we are thrilled to learn that this game will take place in the Azteca, where we received such an enthusiastic reception in 2005. We are extremely grateful for the support we received for the fans of Mexico, and we look forward to an incredible experience. All right, nice thing to say. Very nice thing. Mexican fans are in for another treat this season with an up-close look at Calamari, Cliff Kingsbury. Here comes the hype. But who are the teams? Once again, for the Cardinals in Mexico: Buffalo, Lions, Rams, Dolphins, Eagles, Niners, Seahawks, and Redskins are on the home schedule. Eliminate the Dolphins. They're already on the road in London. Eliminate who? Probably Detroit. I would want to eliminate the Rams, Niners, and Seahawks because they're in division. Stay away. Use those home games at home. I believe the Bills are the best fit for the Cardinals because it's out of conference. Then it's either Washington Redskins or the Eagles at that point. Either way, what is the main focus point of this? Is the connection of Arizona and Mexico, high profiling a team in Mexico that is Arizona closely connected, and at the same time, bring in a team that is not just the Cardinals, that is known, but not known enough. Introduce them a team like the Buffalo Bills that is on the rise and give the fans of Mexico to see something different, is my suggestion for the game itself. But for the Cardinals, it makes a lot of sense if it's the Buffalo Bills. A lot of sense. What are your comments on that? I see you popping in. I appreciate it as we're going to close out the show here real soon. Victoria in the house. Stephen Hughes in the house. Charles Bidwell III in the house. Hey, Charlie. Carlos, say Stephen Hughes. New Jersey boy. Tom Brady will retire, Todd, but maybe not for a couple of years. Probably get a 2-year contract. Cindy in the house. Nora in the house. Who else we got going in there? Luis and Wilson and CB in the house. Thank you guys for popping in. Real quick on baseball, and then we'll pop out, making sure nothing broke in baseball during spring training. Nothing strong about baseball in the news that's coming up. Okay. We'll talk more on Monday. We'll worry about the weekend. We'll just see how things play out. There's going to be a lot of talk about football now, a lot about baseball. We summarize our topics today in football and baseball. Let's give you what we went through, and then we'll close it out. If you want to watch the show again and go through it. Baseball's minority outreach has grown The timing of it, with the baseball season upon us, Major League Baseball's first black and also first Mexican born, first American black born umpire and Mexican born umpire as a crew chief umpire or umpire crew chief. Okay, that was announced yesterday. If you didn't know who it was, I'll remind you. Okay, Alonso Marquez is the Mexican chief umpire. Also in the news is Kerwin Danley, the first Black American umpire crew chief and the first Mexican born. There are 6 current black umpires in Major League Baseball. There's a few Hispanic, Latino umpires in baseball. Okay. Gerrit Cole, Yankees pitcher, fights back accusations that Trevor Bauer accusing Astros pitchers and Gerrit Cole for using a unnatural produced pitch, enhancing the spin rate on a fastball, four-seam fastball, or other pitches. And that's why Gerrit Cole is succeeding. And he doesn't believe, or believes he's cheating the game. Gerrit Cole speaks out. I went into it extensively about why he is not and how Cole react to it. And I believe in everything he said through quotes, through the article from the New York Post, why Gerrit Cole makes a lot of sense with his, his defense. His defense. Patriots and Brady, their future, their marriage, it's coming to a decisive situation here. We're just a few weeks away from March 18th, free agency. The Patriots better get this guy locked up if this is the guy they want. And if Brady wants to go there, Brady may watch to see if the Patriots make any big moves in the offseason. Brady may not be quick to jump to a team, but may feel pressured by teams that he liked to join. But those teams need to make decisions. Either trading away their own quarterback, like in Las Vegas with the Raiders, or a situation with the Colts that they have Jacoby Brissett. Okay. Maybe somewhere down in Tampa where right now they don't really have a quarterback, but Tampa Bay says we may have to re-sign Jameis Winston. There's a lot of decisions that have to go on, and some teams may not want to wait too long because they may lose out on a quarterback. I see Jalen Hurts as a potential draft pick by the Buccaneers in the first round, right around 15. Mark it down if it's there. If they do not sign, and they may just sign and get him for a future backup to a Tom Brady or Phillip Rivers, but mark it down. Jalen Hurts in Tampa could be a nice fit. And we got through a lot of NFL news like we did, and I appreciate that you hung in there. CB in the house, I appreciate it. Jaime in the house, I love it. Have a great weekend, everybody. I appreciate you popping on here on Hanna Time. Once again, Cornelius, Brad, Hannah. Hey, Hanna Time. Global Sports Broadcasting Network. You're going to listen to it live anytime, anywhere, if you can. Also on YouTube Live, on Facebook Live. Anytime, anywhere. I'll be back Monday with a strong show again, as informative I can bring it. Continue to watch, replay the show, share the show. I appreciate if you share it, and let's grow this even further. Have a great weekend. Have a great Good Friday, and keep loving yourself and love the ones around you, and keep it strong. Love you guys. We'll talk to you Monday. Hanna Time. All right, YouTubers. See you soon.